Hello and welcome to Dad Got This, where we answer the tough questions like, can you make amazing smoked queso birria tacos in the Ninja Woodfire with the help of the Rontronic Wireless Thermometer? And how do you make a taco stand? That second one's easy. You take away its chair. Today's video is brought to you by the good folks at Rongtronic and their digital wireless meat thermometer. We are going to use it to make some amazing smoked queso birria tacos. If you don't know what those are, they're basically a shredded beef that you then take a corn tortilla and griddle, and it has an amazing dipping sauce. It's just fantastic. One of the best foods in the world. And we're going to use this to make it perfectly in our Ninja Woodfire. But to do that, let's get some stuff. The first thing we're going to do is load up our Ninja Woodfire. I'm just going to use some premium blend pellets. Pellets aren't a big deal, and what flavor you want on this one, there's so much else going on, doesn't really matter. Grab your pellet hopper and load it all the way to the top.
Right to the top.
That way you're gonna get a good ignition and you're most likely gonna get a good burn. Take your pellet hopper, give it the dad shake. The dad shake either compacts the pellets and makes it burn better, separates the pellets and gives it lots of air and makes it burn better, or it does absolutely nothing. I still do it every time, and I don't have problems igniting my pellets. Load your pellets, and we are gonna set this on the smoker setting, 145 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius, and we're gonna do it for 1 hour. This is kind of doing like a cold smoke for 1 hour on the beef. That way we get as much smoke flavor and as much smoke penetration into this beef as we can. It's a technique I've been using with the Ninja Woodfire that seems to work really well. After that 1 hour, we'll kick it up to a different temperature, but before we get to the beef, we have a little bit of prep to do. The first thing we're gonna do is chop up some tomatoes. Nothing special, just a nice rough chop. Okay, that's a lot easier than cutting the V out. Never done that before, but that worked really well. All I did was cut to the edge of that, and then I can go to the sides, and right there, and get rid of that middle part. And then I don't have the middle part at all on that tomato. I don't know if that counts as a hack or what, but I like it. Sometimes I'm actually smart.
If you say so.
Get yourself a sheet pan, a half sheet pan, and if you can, get one of these. It's a drying rack, cooling rack, but it fits perfectly inside there. That'll come in to play in a bit. We're gonna just throw these tomatoes roughly chopped in here. A nice bed of tomatoes. Garlic. Let's get 7 nice pieces of garlic, and you know the trick. Pound. The pound and peel does 2 things. It breaks up the garlic, which releases more of the oils and the goodness of it, and makes it a lot easier to peel. After that, all you need to do, rough chop them up a little bit. And we are gonna sprinkle these throughout here. Now for birria, you need peppers, and that's gonna make your stuff spicy. So adjust this to your spice level. The guajillos and the anchos aren't too spicy. This stuff can get pretty spicy, so I'm gonna taste and adjust as needed. My other family members aren't big fans of the spice. We'll start with some guajillo, and what we wanna do is pull the tops off, split it down the middle, and we don't want those seeds. I know this is dried, but this will give me an idea. Very mild. I'm not too worried about that. I think 2 of those will be great. Same thing. Split that guy down the middle. And I'm just gonna cut them up into a couple little pieces, spread them throughout there. These are ancho. On the back of the bag, it says guajillos are medium spice, and the anchos are supposed to be mild to medium heat. So let's see. Same thing like before, I'm just gonna rehydrate a little. Got a little bit, but not bad. We'll put 2 of these in. And now for these guys. If I remember correctly, these have a little bit of a punch. Oh yeah, quite a bit. We are just gonna put a very tiny amount of those and save the rest for me for later. Bay leaf, add a couple of those. We're gonna hit this with a sprinkle of salt. About 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And then some beef stock. We're just gonna pour in enough to coat the bottom of the pan for now. You don't want your beef stock coming up through your wire. So that's the goal. Because until these tomatoes break down, this is gonna keep our beef from being braised. We want our beef smoked. Speaking of beef, let's go get it. For today's cook, I am using a big, nice chuck roast. First thing we're gonna do, pat it dry. You want your meat as dry as possible so it's not steaming and it's building a bark. It's doing the good things we want it to do and not wasting energy on evaporating excess moisture that we don't need. I got a bunch of spices here. I got cumin, I got cinnamon, I got my go, which is 50% granulated garlic, 50% granulated onion, a little bit of black pepper, some Mexican oregano. You can use regular oregano if you want, and some salt. And for salt, I'm gonna use some pink curing salt. One of the things that everybody complains with on the Ninja Woodfire is you don't get a smoke ring. A smoke ring is purely cosmetic. It means nothing about smoke penetration or anything. It's like a chemical reaction with an oxygen depleted environment and something with the beef. It doesn't mean you got great smoke versus didn't get great smoke, but people wanna see it. So I wanna see if we can see it if we use some pink curing salt. Pretty big cut of meat, so I think we can use a decent amount of salt. Give it a flip. I have never used this stuff before. I'll be interested to see what kind of difference it makes. Then we'll hit it with our go. Now in my recipes, I put the amount of tablespoons for these things, but it's a guess. I don't know exactly how much is getting on there when I do this, but go by visual looks. A little bit of black pepper, that always helps with bark. It's my Mexican oregano. I dried this myself from oregano that my wife grew in our garden. A little bit of cumin. And some cinnamon. And we'll pick up some seasoning from the board on the sides. Don't drop your whole roast on the ground. That's something I would do. I'm cooking this with the Woodfire Pro XL, which has built-in thermometers, but I get a lot of comments from you guys who say, I don't have a unit that has the built-in thermometers. And you always tell me to cook to these temperatures. What do I do? What you do is you buy a wireless thermometer like the Rongtronic. This will allow you to turn any cooker into a cooker that you can monitor wirelessly. Pretty cool. The unit is nice and small, compact, charges by USB, is magnetic, and comes with an app where you can monitor and track everything you want. Really simple to use. We're gonna go ahead and just turn it on with the power button. We're gonna take our probe. We're gonna insert it into the thickest part of the meat. Somewhere, probably right about there. One of the nice things about the Rontronic is it has a display that shows you everything. You don't need to use the app if you don't want to. You can just look here and I can tell that my meat is 37 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. So it's pretty cold. It was almost frozen in the fridge. And the ambient temperature out here right now is a balmy 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Now you take this guy, put him on top of here, like so. And as you can see, our meat is resting above all of that liquid. But all of that tomato and stuff is all gonna get the smoky goodness all at the same time. I think this is gonna be a great method. I haven't done it before, but I think this is gonna work. Let's go throw this on the smoker. As you can see, we got nice smoky pellets. The app for the Rontronic is called Chef BBQ. Load it up, and I've got everything I need right here at my fingertips. Tells me my internal, my target, my ambient. So we're gonna go ahead and set this to a manual cook. We're gonna go with Birria, and we want a temperature of 201 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. We're gonna go to cooking graph, hit start recording, and I want an early warning 18 degrees ahead of my time. Now take this and go put it close to your unit. Just a little bit about the Rongtronic. It's got an 800-foot range due to advanced Bluetooth technology. On average, it's about 250 feet. From my previous testing, I can actually monitor the unit with this inside my house through my sliding glass door on my patio, and I can still have it connected. Most of my other wireless thermometers that I've ever had, they don't connect. They lose connection as soon as I go in my house. This one seems to have a much stronger connection. The unit's waterproof, so you can use it in a fryer, you could use it sous vide, you could use it boiling, all kinds of stuff. It has 2 temperature sensors, one for ambient temperature and one for the temperature of the meat. That one is an instant read, about 1 second, and it's going to give you an accurate reading. You don't need to wait for a long time for it to come up to temperature and get you a good reading. As soon as you put it in, you know the temperature of your food. It's been pretty good so far. I've used it quite a few times and I have been very happy with it. If you'd like to get one, I'll throw a link down in the description. It's an Amazon link, goes on sale all the time. As of recording this right now, it's like 40 bucks and there's a 30% off coupon on there. Really affordable. So if you got a unit that didn't have the wireless or you have a regular grill or something, I would say it's a great option. I don't know how long this cook's gonna take, but that probe will last up to 10 hours on a low and slow cook. So I'm not too worried. This should not take 10 hours. I'll see you guys in about an hour when we're gonna go ahead and change that temperature. It's been about an hour. Let's go ahead and check on our roast. According to the Chef BBQ app, it is at about 89 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. So let's go kick that thing up. I think we're gonna go ahead and put it up to, let's do 250 Fahrenheit or Celsius. Here's how it looks so far. Looking nice and pink and smoky. Let's check our pellets after, oh, our pellets are basically gone. So this is how you do the dad shake if you're reloading. Now we are gonna go ahead and set this to time. I don't know, 4 hours sounds good. Temp, 250. And then we are gonna hit that wood fire button again because I need to reignite my pellets. They lost all their smoke. Now this is kind of controversial. I'm reigniting the pellets. Some people say that that gives you dirty smoke, but personally, I've never had the dirty smoke, terrible bitter taste on my food when doing it this way. After that first hour, still kind of warmed up the meat a little bit, and then hitting it with this extra smoke in the wood fire where it doesn't really get a lot of smoke, seems to have been fine for me. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know how long this is gonna take, but the Chef BBQ app and the Rongtronic will let me know when it's time. I'll get a warning about 18 degrees ahead of our target temp, so that sounds good to me. See you in a bit. It's about 2.5 hours later, and we are at 170 Fahrenheit or Celsius. So at this point, we are gonna drop the roast down into the braising liquid, but because I'm curious, I wanna grab it and cut a slice off. I wanna see if it has a smoke ring. I mean, that looks beautiful and barky. We have this awesome juice sitting down there. If you told me this was a baby brisket, I would believe you. Man, that looks good. If you're following along at home, you can absolutely skip this step. You do not need to cut it to see anything. You're just gonna move on to the next step. But me, I'm interested. Okay, we're gonna remove that. Then this guy comes out. I'm just gonna go right here. Okay, so if anybody complains to you that your Ninja Woodfire can't get a smoke ring, you can absolutely fake it. That is hilarious. That is just a chunk of fat also. Look, it's brisket. All right, I just want to take a bit that's not just fat. Ooh, it's tasty. Now, because I don't want to immediately dunk it, I want to check. Give this a stir. And I want to see how spicy this is. Mild as all heck. Has all the pepper flavors you want, but it is mild. Now we are going to take this guy, and because we don't have to worry about the Rontronic and liquid, can go right in there. And there's enough liquid in there, I don't think I really need to add too much more. And this guy goes back in there. I had about a half a hopper of pellets left, so I just topped it off, did the dad shake, and I think we'll be good. We don't really need too much smoke at this point. It's already kind of taken as much smoke as it's gonna take. We're just trying to bring it to shredding texture. See in a bit. According to the Rongtronic and the Chef BBQ app, we are at like 194 Fahrenheit or Celsius. So I'm gonna go take a look at this and check it for probe tenderness. If the probe goes in nice and easy, we're probably ready to shred. Okay, see, we're good in some spots, but in others we're not. We still got some resistance. I'm gonna foil this so it kind of steams it a little bit, and I think that should get it there the last bit. I don't think this is gonna take too much longer. It's much later. I had to go do some things for the family, so I ended up just sticking that in there at 150 degrees and leaving it for about an hour and a half or so. So it should be nice and tender. Let's go take a look. According to the app, it is still 150 degrees. It's nice and toasty. Let's see if she's shreddable. Super falling apart. The Rongtronic has done its job. Now all this liquid, we want this, but we don't want it all chunky like this. We want to strain it. We want it like a consommé, a broth. Now's a good time to give this a try. Last time I tried it, it needed some salt. Well, it's very good, but it does need salt. I'm gonna start with probably about a tablespoon, a little bit more. And I think that's gonna be great. Let's see how our roast came out. Look at that smoke ring. That is a beautiful smoke ring, right? Nothing to do with how well this food's gonna taste. All right, and now we're just gonna see how easily this hopefully just shreds. Okay, pretty shreddy. Just breaking it apart with my hands. I think if I didn't have to go anywhere, I would have taken it a little bit further to really braise it down in that liquid. This is just fine. When you do yours, just take it until it is completely tender to a probe. Take it a little bit further than this. Oh, it's delicious though. Oh, it's so good. At this point, you can just use it as a regular taco, put it right in there, or you can make queso birria tacos, which is what we're gonna make. So we'll set all this guys aside, turn this guy on, do the grill high, and what we need is some cilantro, some cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want. I'm using some smoked Gouda that I made myself, and some white onion. We're gonna shred up some of this cheese, like so. We're gonna take a white onion, should be a white onion, and we're gonna dice this guy up. And then you want some cilantro. I'm never picky with the stems. I just kind of go with them in it like that. It's usually just fine for me. And the last thing you need, a little bit of corn tortilla. We wait for that guy, and then we make some tacos. It's taco time. Throw some oil down, drop down tortillas. Get them a little toasty on one side. Get yourself a nice little amount of your beef. Hit it with some sauce. And now for the queso part of the queso birria tacos. And now what you want to do is take them and fold it, press it. I like to go with a little bit of consommé right on there. Give them a flip. A little bit of cilantro, a little bit of your onions. And here you have one of probably the absolute best tacos you'll ever eat in your life. I like to kind of peel them open, pour a little bit of that guy in there, a little bit of that in there, close it back up. You take this, it goes in there, like that. Oh my God, they are fantastic. They're smoky, they're peppery, but not spicy. That is one of the best tacos I've ever made. So good. I want to thank the folks at Rontronic for bringing you this video. This thing worked like a charm. If you're interested, link will be in the description. I don't know what else to say. You need to try this. It's a fantastic recipe, and it is one of my favorite tacos. If you're enjoying this content, please do the likey, subscribe stuff. YouTube loves it when you leave a like. I love it when you leave a comment. I answer just about every comment in my comment section. If you really want to support this channel, consider becoming a member. Members get behind the scene updates, early access to videos, shout outs, producer credits, all kinds of fun stuff. I think there's only one question we need to answer after all of this. What is Pac-Man like on his tacos? Quack, 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 quack. Yeah, that's really bad. Dad may tell horrible dad jokes, make fantastic tacos thanks to the Rontronic Wireless Thermometer. But one thing Dad will never do is an outro. So that's it. Bye.
This episode of Dad Got This was brought to you by our producers. Thank you very much.